We covered monitoring GKE clusters all the way back in our first episode. But there are lots of new features in cloud operations to help you observe and manage your GKE clusters and the workloads that run on them. Today, I'm going to show you how to use cloud operations for GKE to make sure your services are healthy. This is the Stack Doctor. Right away, you'll see that the new GKE monitoring dashboard looks very different. Instead of 3 tabs, you now have lists of all the different GKE entities, like clusters, namespaces, and nodes. Remember, this information is aggregated from all the projects being monitored by your workspace. This gives you a single place to see everything you're responsible for managing. Now, right now you might be thinking, well, that's great, but I have a default namespace in every cluster. How will I ever find what I need? Well, there's a really cool filtering feature that'll help you to find exactly what you're looking for. For example, if you have a copy of the front-end service running in 3 different clusters, the filter lets you select the exact one you want. Once you apply the filter, the entire dashboard is filtered to match. One of the things that's been kind of hard to do in the past is to get an aggregated view of the data. For example, what does my resource utilization look like across my namespace? This new view makes it really easy to get this kind of aggregation, and it'll scale no matter how many resources are being monitored, even if you have thousands of pods across hundreds of namespaces. But if you do want to see all of those resources, you can click View All. That will let you see all of the entities in that category. If that list is too overwhelming, you can filter from here too. At any point, you can select a row in the table to get its details. For example, click a pod to open its details panel. This view has everything you need in one place. Metadata about the resource, any incidents that it has triggered, and metric and log data too. Having a single place to access all this information makes understanding what's going on much easier. On the Metrics tab, you can easily select a smaller subset of time if you're trying to zero in on an anomaly. Just drag a rectangle on the chart that includes the time you want to focus on. From any metric chart, you can then create an alerting policy by clicking on that link. This is a great way to quickly get started with alerting on GKE entities right in context. You can also get right to the logs for the resource you've selected. For example, select a pod and click on the Logs tab to see the most recent logs for it. If you're troubleshooting an issue, you can filter the logs. For example, you might only want to see error logs to figure out why a pod is crashing. To get more details, click on the Open and Logging button. That will open the new logs viewer with your query pre-populated and executed. This really makes it very easy to know exactly what's going on with your workloads, without having to figure out how to select the resource you're looking for. You may recall that we covered using logging with your GKE clusters and workloads in an earlier episode. We'll link to that below if you haven't seen it already. Thanks for joining me today. We took a look at the new GKE monitoring dashboard and learned how to use its in-context capabilities to set up alerting and pull up logs for our workload. Thanks for watching and come back soon for more. This is the Stack Doctor. Stay healthy out there.